Welcome everyone, Costini here with a discussion about the state of Blizzard Entertainment, or whatever is left of it after the recent events that have taken place. The lawsuit by California, the allegations that are coming out, especially as the media, including the mainstream media, are looking into the situation. And there's more cases of harassment, even some cases I would go so far as to call them pretty much borderline sexual assault, if not really that. Coming out, instances of that happening, and also instances of such behavior that it is ruining the reputations of people that are still in Blizzard. Some people are still in Blizzard, some people have left Blizzard, including people that had sterling reputations like Ghostcrawler and others, or how Mike Morhaime is accused by certain people that are working still in Blizzard of being well aware of what was going on, despite his denials of what was going on, being accused of knowing damn well what was going on because he was being told by people within the company, and he flat out ignored it. So what happened, the events that happened, like the accusations in the lawsuit, the fact that it comes out that Alex Afrasiabi was actually fired from Blizzard because of his behavior, the fact that people knew in the company, and these kind of things in a community, like, in a community, in a workplace or not, you always know who's a dipshit. Like, whether or not upper management cares, that's a different matter. In this case, they didn't care until basically California started investigating them and prepared to sue their asses. That's what happened, seems like. That Blizzard didn't care about what was happening until the state of California was beginning to take action against them. The reaction from the community, from a lot of people that play Blizzard games, or even just our observers here, has been overwhelmingly negative in light of the recent stories that came out. How negative? Well, I did a poll on my channel. It has the most votes of any poll that I've made, over 5,000 as I'm recording this. Out of the people that voted, only 3% said that the state of Blizzard is good, 6% okay, 43% bad, 30% irredeemable, and 19% meh. The meh is where I'm kind of at right now, by the way. It's like, I don't even care anymore really that much. I do still to a degree, because this is a company whose games I've been playing since I was a kid, but I'm kind of past the point of anger or frustration or fire and fury as much as some people are. And now, J. Allen Brack, who was in charge of Blizzard, yes, you think you do, but you don't, is stepping down from the company. On one hand, I have to say, as someone who witnessed him saying you think you do, but you don't, and all the crap mentality that it implies, I have to say, good riddance. Like, genuinely, good riddance. Like, that kind of attitude, even though he changed tack and all that, like that kind of attitude, get rid of it. And it really just showed you, like it showed us back in the day, just the arrogance that Blizzard had about themselves as a company. In fact, I'm pretty damn certain when it comes to making like the classic World of Warcraft, one of the main reasons Blizzard did not want to do it, despite the demand for it, one of the reasons Blizzard did not want to do it is that they were proud of the current state of retail of World of Warcraft, that they wanted people to like it, and when they didn't, they were pretty frustrated, annoyed at the situation. That's my personal perspective about how that situation is. So good riddance to J. Allen Brack, and good riddance to all the other people, that left, that apparently knew what was going on, didn't care, didn't bother dealing with the situation, and we'll see what happens with Blizzard. But on the other hand, all the old people, the people who made a lot of the games that we have enjoyed over the years, back in the day, many of them, if not the vast majority of them, are no longer with Blizzard. I guess we still have Samwise Didier in charge of art, and imagine that, the art part of Blizzard is the one that never really had major issues. Like, the storytelling is all over the place, the gameplay is very messy in a lot of titles, and Blizzard is reaching actually a level of mediocrity in terms of the games that they're developing, and that's a problem. There is a message on their website talking about talking about the change in leadership. To all members of the Blizzard community, we want to let you know about an important leadership change at Blizzard Entertainment. Starting today, J. Allen Brack will be stepping down as the leader of the studio, and others will take over as co-leads of Blizzard. And they talk about the history of the people that worked, that are now going to take charge of Blizzard. And there's also a message from J. Allen Brack that he is confident that they will provide the leadership Blizzard needs to realize its full potential and will accelerate the pace of change. I anticipate that they will do so with passion and enthusiasm, and that they can be trusted to lead with the highest levels of integrity and commitment to the components of our culture that make Blizzard so special. Finally, thank you all for being part of the Blizzard community and for your passion and determination for safety and equality for all. Oh yes, safety and equality for all. I have to say, with regards to the recent allegations, and you have the gaming media and even the mainstream media talking about this, and even some investigations taking place where they're not just confirming the things that are in that lawsuit that California filed, many of the things, but also uncovering new allegations like the Cosby, like, one of the things is like the Cosby suite, Ghostcrawler. Yeah, great job there. Great job for Ghostcrawler there, whose reputation, like the reputation of everyone involved in this is probably going to end up in tatters just because of their involvement. If people say that those in Blizzard didn't know, they're lying out of their fucking ass. Like, it's like, as a WoW player, I can tell you this. You always know who's a dipshit in the guild. You might not care about it, but you always do know. It's the same damn thing in a company with people like, Alex of Yolosapien, who people knew in the company he was an asshole. Hell, people knew he was an asshole even before he joined Blizzard. He had a really strong reputation of being an asshole. Blizzard hired him. Big surprise. He's a toxic shitbag. Ooh, big shock. Big shock there with the Yolosapien Blizzard. You made your bed. You knew the hell who you were getting. You didn't care. Mike Morhaime was making wrote that message saying, "Oh, I didn't know," and all that kind of stuff. It's like, no, he did. He bloody well knew what was happening. He just didn't give a shit, right? Just like other people didn't care, because the core issue here isn't just whether or not, some people in management or some people. No, the core issue is that across the entire gaming industry, with some exceptions, but for much of the gaming industry, the workplace environment is horrible. It's not about frat boy culture or just harassment in general. It's toxic, it's horrible. And it goes back to what I heard someone say. How can you expect good quality decisions to be made in a horrible workplace environment? They work long hours, they're stressed out about deadlines. Do you expect that kind of environment to not breed the toxic work environment, to not have these kind of things? Because it damn well will. That's exactly the kind of environment you're going to get out of that when you have such stress and crunching and all that kind of stuff. That's the problem with the gaming industry. It's not just like a couple of bad apples. It's the way the entire system has been built. It's the way developers have been treated. It's the expectations of those developers. It's the deadlines. It's the crunch. It's the toxicity. It's everything that involves. That's how you get these kind of situations with companies like Blizzard. Then there's Bobby Kotick's intervention. Why did Bobby Kotick intervene? Did he do it because of the employee walkout? Maybe to some degree. Sure, I can imagine that. But how much you want to care about the employee walkout? I'm sorry, but I don't particularly have much, let's just say, sympathy for people working in Blizzard right now. Let's call it that. Not just because of the allegations that have been made against some of them that a lot of them knew and didn't care about for such a long period of time. No, not just because of that, but also because as developers, for the games that they've been working on, they've made one stupid decision after another stupid decision. How they expect people to really care when you've released such crap? Yes, there are reasons why that. The toxic workplace environment, the crunch culture, the stress, all that. There are reasons. There's justification behind that. But at the end of the day, we are consumers. We buy a product. We don't have to care what your problems in making that product are. We care about the end result. That's what they're paid for, right? It's not our problem. to necessarily care about that. It's worth saying in that particular aspect. If a game is crap, a game is crap. And that's the end of it. Now, with Bobby Kotick, did he do it because of the employee walkout? Potentially, to a degree. Did he do it because of the stock market and other issues? Yes. But I also think the main reason that Bobby Kotick decided to respond to the recent events is because of the lawsuit. What Activision wants is to settle. Most likely, they want to reach a settlement. And they want to show, and one of the things that they would demand, one of the things that California would demand from them, is to show evidence that they are changing the situation in the workplace, that they are improving in those respects, and that they're creating a better situation for their employees. That's probably one of the main things Activision will have to do, as well as give California a big pile of money, because they had a 2-year investigation that costs quite a bit of money in its own right, and there are some fairly serious accusations in there. So that's what Activision is going to have to give up, and that's why I think Bobby Kotick intervened. Not because he cares about the employees. At some point, Blizzard, not now, but at some point, Bobby Kotick is going to wake up one day and decide, what's the damn point in keeping Blizzard Entertainment going? Yes, the IPs have value. Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch, StarCraft, they all have values. Blizzard as a company, more and more, after one horrible game after another horrible game, or mediocre game after mediocre game, there's going to be a point Activision is going to reach, or Bobby Kotick is going to reach and decide, well, I don't need them anymore. Close shop down. Maybe keep some people to keep some versions of those games working, something like that, but get rid of Blizzard. Not now. We're still far away from that, but if we get another Shadowlands, or we get another BFA, or we get another Diablo free launch situation, if we get another Warcraft free Reforged, you can be damn certain that's going to be on the table. If it isn't already, it could very well be on the table already. Bobby Kotick doesn't care about the employees at Blizzard. He probably doesn't really care too much about the walkout either. And employees were pretty angry about his response, because it's like, well, this doesn't fix anything, right? Though whether or not upper management should give in to the demands of employees, thinking that those are going to fix the issues, that's a different discussion in its own right that could be had. Anyway, so those are some of the things to say about the situation. I do want to end with this, however, and I feel this is a crucial point. It used to be that when we played Blizzard games, and I look back in the day, right, they were never the ones that created great ideas. Like, I started playing Blizzard games with Warcraft 1, just so you understand. We're talking here 25 years, 2 decades and a half in my case, right? And I played The Lost Vikings, and I played a bunch of other stuff that they made as a company. But really, the big game was Warcraft 1. Warcraft 1 is just more or less a further development of Dune 2 specifically. It was a development of the RTS genre as it was forming, and they had a major impact. That's one of the things Blizzard used to do as a company. They would take ideas that they didn't necessarily create, but they would polish them up and release some ultimately exceptional games as a result of that. That's what they did as a company, not some fancy new fresh ideas. They weren't necessarily the guys who did that, but they were the guys that delivered a solid, polished experience with interesting universes, stories, characters. They no longer do that. This is the biggest problem. We can talk about Shadowlands. Shadowlands is a perfect example. I personally don't think Shadowlands is that bad, but at best, Shadowlands is a mediocre fucking experience. And it's not just Shadowlands. It's other games that they're making as well. That, sure, they might be fun. They might have some interesting stuff, but they are not trailblazers. They're not the great quality experience that we expect from Blizzard, that people like me expect from Blizzard. That's not to say Blizzard games never came out without bugs. I mean, Vanilla, Burning Crusade, all that, they came with significant amount of bugs. Like Warcraft 3, enormous issues. StarCraft, enormous issues. All of those games, but they were a higher quality regardless than their competitors. That's no longer the case. Right now, with the strategy game genre, well, that's pretty much gone. But I think the last game that Blizzard really innovated in, or really polished or delivered an experience you just don't see from other companies, it was actually StarCraft 2. I mean, the story is nonsense and garbage, sure. that aside, but the actual gameplay of StarCraft 2, the campaign gameplay, the polish, the enjoyment that you could have from a game like that, on a different level completely than any game, any RTS game that's out there. Even if you don't necessarily like StarCraft 2 the most, like the amount of things that they do in the campaign, the choices, the way the gameplay works, it's on a completely different level than most other games. And that's what we expect from Blizzard. Those of us that have played their games for years, that's what we want from Blizzard. Not another by-the-numbers expansion for World of Warcraft, which is exactly what Shadowlands feels. Not another fucking cash grab. Not a mobile game. Certainly not the fucking mobile game. Or a team-based shooter, well, a brawler really in some ways, like Overwatch, which other games, like there's other games that do things that Overwatch does, at least on the same level, if not better. There's games that do, there's games that can do what Diablo is doing, right? There's games that are coming out or have come out that are doing, and even World of Warcraft is feeling the heat right now. You know, you have MMOs either that are going to come out soon, or MMOs that are going to come out further down the line, like Ashes of Creation, or the Riot MMO. We'll see how all that comes out. They're giving Blizzard a run for their money. The MOBA scene, Heroes of the Storm, is considered an inferior product to many other MOBAs. So what does Blizzard have? What makes Blizzard special in the games that they develop at the moment? Nothing. That's, well, the art direction. That's the one thing they still have going for them. That's the one, surprisingly, the one department that has always consistently delivered is the art department in Blizzard, and that's it. The gameplay department, the story decisions that Blizzard has made, nonsensical, stupid. Gameplay, either mediocre or outright bad in quite a few cases. So many bad decisions have been made from this company. So at the end of the day, it's not surprising you're seeing more and more content creators, especially with these allegations, basically saying, you know what, I'm done with this company. They don't have anything to offer me. I'm not going to be their marketing boy, because that's how they treat us. I mean, with Classic, that's what Blizzard did. It relied on content creators to basically market their game. They didn't have a real marketing team or a marketing budget. They relied on content creators. Well, at some point, you're just going to decide, well, there's no value in continuing to cover their games. There's no value in this company anymore for me as a content creator, and that's going to be a major blow for them as a company. It is pretty indicative of how things are that you saw people like Preach Gaming, which has covered World of Warcraft for so many years, basically quit. The allegations, the lawsuit, all that was just the final drop in an already filled bucket for these people. Now, as for myself, how do I ultimately feel about this? Well, as I said, I feel that a lot of Blizzard games are just mediocre pieces of crap. I feel the story development of these games is horrible. They're certainly not as interesting as it used to be. There always were questionable like decisions in StarCraft, Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, and Warcraft 3, but you were invested, you cared, you were interested. Not so much anymore. With the way things are going right now, and personally, I will keep covering Blizzard games until such a point that it no longer is worth it. For now, it is worth it for the moment, purely because of TBC Classic. How long that's gonna last, I don't know. But for now, that's where I stand on the issue. I'm not really interested in anything new they're releasing, and that should tell you something about them. I'm not interested in playing Shadowlands again. I'm not interested in whatever expansion comes out to Shadowlands. I'm not really interested in Overwatch 2 or Diablo 4. Maybe I'll play Diablo 2 when they remaster it, but that should tell you something. That the most exciting things, in my opinion, aren't the current flashy new games that Blizzard wants us to buy, but the older titles that they developed. Kostin here, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and enable notifications, and stay tuned for more.